What's up, YouTube? Yeah, it's my new thing. That's my new intro. When my grandmother ain't doing it. Don't hate. Don't hate. Everybody got a gimmick, don't they? So that's mine. How y'all doing today? It's Auntie Mickey. How you doing? I'm doing wonderful. Hey, it's not a day of Diddy, but there's some Diddy-ish stuff I'm going to tell you. Yes, it's not a Diddy day, but it's a like Diddy day. This is the white Diddy. Yes, except this old crotchety sucker's 80 years old. Check this out. The former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch has been arrested today for flex trafficking. I'm trying to be creative with my substitute words, as YouTube wants us to do. But we can say all kind of other stuff that's nasty, like and shit and stuff like that. That's cool. That'll fly. But don't say the appropriate word for a metallic weapon that goes boom. Anyway, I digress. Let me get comfortable. So, I wrote down my notes because I can't keep it all in my head the way I'd like to. So, what has happened is federal prosecutors have arrested, this guy's name is Michael Jeffries. He is the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. Okay? The prosecutors held a press conference today, so this ain't no cap. Yes, I said a young people's word, cap. My grandson asked me, he said, Mama, what you know about capping? Well, I'm not in the ground yet, buddy. Anyway, so according to what they came forward and said today, they said that from 1992 to 2014, he held this CEO position, okay? And during this time, he was trafficking many men. Many men. Many, 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 many men had X on him. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not going to make up no words. That's bad. Anyway, he held the CEO position and trafficked many men with aspirations to be fashion models for Abercrombie and Fitch because they are a worldwide conglomerate of sportswear and clothing, stuff like that. But anyway, this is what sounds familiar. Using his power, money, and influence, ring a bell, he obtained many flexual favors from these particular people for himself and his romantic partner, Matthew Smith. Yes. He rode on that side of the road. Him and old Matthew. This dude is 80 years old. Shouldn't you be playing checkers somewhere right about now? You and Matthew. Go play shuffleboard. You 80. Now, I ain't hating. But doggone it, why you gotta be nasty up until the day you die? That might be the cause of you dying. Trying to get a nut with some young buck and you fall over. You could have been living. You could have been playing shuffleboard. Anyway, now you're going to be in prison. Because you're going to go down too. There's so many similarities with this cat and Diddy. Okay, it's phenomenal. He's just as diabolical. Because they did a lot of things alike. Okay, according to this, it says that he used his wealth and influence to obtain flexual favors for himself and his partner, Matthew Smith. These defendants did violent, awful things to these men across the world. So this is international. This didn't just happen here. Because apparently, I'm just kind of doing a little side note. because I did a little bit of research too. Might not have got all of it. But back in 2023, I believe, he called himself suing Abercrombie and Fitch because they wouldn't pay his legal fees for accusations of flex trafficking. Imagine that. Why would they pay for your legal fees? And you nasty. That would be like backing you with their name and endorsing your behavior. So that's how all this got started, because once you get on the radar, when you get investigated for something like this, eventually the feds is going to come in and start doing their own investigation, and then they're going to throw your tight twat in jail. Point blank, period. Anyway. Let's see. It says these defendants did violent, awful things to these men across the world. Jeffries and Smith hired a man named James Jacobson as a recruiter for new candidates under the ruse of tryouts. He would also pay the men for flexual acts with him, meaning James Jacobson paid these people because he was the recruiter. He had to test the waters first before he took them back to the boss and said, yeah, this one is cool. You'll like him. Okay, so Smith would then personally approve as to whether or not the men who were chosen by James Jacobson would meet with Jeffries and Smith. Flew them all over the world to engage in these flexual acts, and often used force for these men to engage in personal flexual acts with them. They forced these men to participate in many flex events, kind of like freak-offs. They didn't call them freak-offs, but that's their version of a freak-off, an event. And used staff. Another coincidence, maybe? No. This is a pattern that these deviants do. These rich deviants that can hire people to do dirt for them. Okay. They used staff to monitor and make sure that they don't try to leave the event. They were told that if they don't comply, it would hurt their careers. They don't even have a career yet. But doesn't that sound familiar? Promises of fame. You're going to be a wonderful model for Abercrombie and Fitch, and if not them, someone else. You're going to be seen worldwide. You're going to be the man. You're going to be the man. You know, what was that brother's name? Was it Tyson? Tyson, he was a world famous model. I hope he didn't have to suck nothing to. Anyway, they administered drugs to these men, such as Viagra, muscle relaxers, and consumption of alcohol. Ding dong, what does that sound like? I'm going to say that again. They administered drugs, put the D on the front, to these men, such as Viagra. We know what Viagra does. Muscle relaxers. Kind of contradict. Ain't that a muscle? So if you give them a muscle relaxer, what is it going to do? Go, but not all the way. Maybe, Viagra does this. Muscle relaxer counteracts it a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, this is what they gave them. Maybe it was just make them not care. I don't know. And consumption of alcohol. Sound like a freak off. Jeffries and Smith on more than one occasion injected men with an erection-inducing substance, which caused the men to engage in flex acts they were either incapable or unwilling to perform. I'm not sure how that works. You stick me with a needle. the last thing I want to do is get it on. Anyway, on more than one occasion, Jeffries and Smith violated the bodily integrity of the bodies of these young men with invasive, flexual violence against body parts when they did not or could not perform. That's sick. That's sick, but doesn't it sound familiar? Now, apparently these three scumbags, alleged scumbags, trafficked these young men from 2008 to 2015, early 2015. They hired dozens of men during that period and took them around the world. Spent millions on a massive infrastructure to support and maintain its secrecy. Didn't work. Hundreds of thousands spent in cash for commercial flex and huge amounts of money for staff to maintain these events. And both domestic and international travel was paid for as well as hotel rooms and other services, as well as Jacobson's salary. This investigation, of course, is still ongoing. 15 John Does so far have come forward, but it encompasses dozens and dozens of other men. And the federal government is publicly asking others to come forward that may have been afraid to come forward in the past, to come forward now, to solidify this dude. Wouldn't it, you know what? It occurred to me earlier. This all went down in New York, right? Ain't that where they arrested Diddy? You think they got this white Diddy in the same jail as the black Diddy? I ain't been able to find out where this man is being held, or even whether or not he's been given a bail. More to come. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back later because I got some more news, but I'm not going to put it here because I want you to watch this one first. Y'all be good. Peace.